Welcome back to STLTV Live. I'm Vern Fuller. Still hanging with me in the studio are Courtney, Armistead, and Malissa McLaurin of Venus Envy, and they had a little something to do with the St. Louis Lady Arm Wrestlers. Let's talk about the scholarship program. Scholarship to where?
It's a scholarship for professional development and or education. So it's our first time offering the scholarship. So it can really, we're kind of letting the participants or the people who are applying to kind of dictate what that looks like. You know, $500 may be a course that you wanted to take but you couldn't take, or because you didn't have the money or access. Or it could be to studio space to share with other female artists that maybe otherwise you couldn't do that, and that helps promote art in St. Louis.
Okay, so it's not a scholarship to a particular location of higher education.
Correct.
It could be office space, it could be supplies,
correct,
whatever. Okay,
yes.
So you have some flexibility there.
Correct. And the recipients of the scholarship are part of the clause in that is they need to show at our September showcase also.
Okay, so how does one enter and qualify for this?
Well, to qualify, it's all ages. You have to self-identify as a woman. You have to live within 30 miles of St. Louis. And you can go to our website and find out more about it. The deadline is March 1st, and our website is www.venusenv.org.
Let's just for a second, I don't want to harp on this, but you have to self-identify as a woman.
Correct.
So a guy who doesn't understand that, who doesn't self-identify as a woman,
okay,
if he submits, then is his application rejected, or do you say, hi, I'm sorry, but...
Well, so you have your application process. Once we go through that, then there's an interview process also.
Oh.
And throughout that interview, I mean, you could look just like you. And if you tell me that you self-identify as a woman, I'm going to trust in that you're not, making a mockery of the process, and that you really do self-identify. But there's an interview process that there's, a few questions we'll talk about, how the person's art, can be used to further, artists in St. Louis, and how they can give back to the community in that manner. So.
Okay. I think I've got it. What else do you expect to achieve? What is the next objective you have for your events and your organization?
I think part of what we're hoping for is a long-term cycle of rebuilding and creating a culture of women that support each other multi-generationally. So, for example, whoever wins the scholarship this year in 2015 will be at our showcase in 2015 in September, and then hopefully they will mentor some maybe new female artists or younger female artists, or get more involved in the organization in some other way so that it self-perpetuates and we continue to build a network.
And I was going to add on to what Courtney was saying, is that we also, hope to do some sort of programming in the next few years, whether that looks like maybe some of our past Venus Envy participants maybe hosting a workshop, like she said, for younger artists or older artists,
Okay. Melissa, Courtney, let me just throw this out to you. Give me an example of your greatest success story, the one that touches you most dearly.
I think we each have a story. One of our stories that I have is one of our board members, Trisha. She writes a blog, and she puts it out there on Facebook, but she's never really gotten up and spoken. And at our last showcase, I think she felt the energy, and there was a little lag of time we had with some of our spoken word artists, and she felt she was in a safe place with people who would appreciate her and would make her feel welcome. And she got up, and as nervous as I know she was, she felt this was the place to do it, and she was able to, do some of her own pieces, and it was awesome.
It was very moving.
It was very moving.
Courtney?
And Trisha, our friend, our board member, went on after several professional spoken word artists, women that traveled, have written books. Last year, our showcase was in August, and it was right around the Ferguson incident. And I think that Trisha was so moved by the other spoken word artists. And even though we were all from different generations, different cultural backgrounds, and that's a very tense situation to talk about, she felt supported by them to get up on stage in front of them and go on. And that was really moving to me. It made a difference in her life.
Yeah, it really has. She's now going on to do some other things that are pretty awesome, and bring some other to present her art in front of. And then we had an organization a few years ago that performed for Venus Envy that now owns their own business. The women started their own business.
Well, both of you reek of enthusiasm, passion, and excitement about this, and I wish you all the best, and thank you so much for joining us. Thanks to Courtney and Melissa for giving us details on their annual scholarship program. We need to take a break, but don't go anywhere. Stay tuned. More STLTV Live is coming up after this.